And here's the latest installment of Ezekiel Kralen's story about the two little dogs and their master. His, I'm not sure I get it right. Sometimes I think crackhead, and sometimes I think meth head probably. His meth head homeless friend who comes around and harangues him and gets money from him for some reason. Music Chip Tantrum is the title of this. Ezekiel Kralen wrote. Email correspondence, July 10th, 2023. Subject, what came of my 911 call? Continued. Date, July 10th, late afternoon. Next time you see him, give us a call, another cop advised. And get inside if you see him coming down the sidewalk. I will definitely call non-emergency and heed your advice. Thank you. Okay, then, one of them said, as they moved to climb back into their vehicle. You have a good night, Scooter. I chuckled at the embarrassing faux pas. Please, my name's not Scooter, it is Zeke. Ah, right, sorry about that, apologized the guilty cop, whose cheeks began to flush pink. We all had a good laugh. Then off they drove toward Castro Street to track down Scooter. I hope they found him. Deke then approached me, pushing his cart with Pooches in tow, a bit upset that I'd singled him out to the popo. Scooter's going to think I snitched on him. Now I got to find him and tell him it wasn't me. Jesus Christ, Deke, you're such a drama queen, I exclaimed. So you're going to snitch on me? Tell him I'm the one who reported him. Why don't you just tell him the smoke shop called 911? Besides, I think it's a really bad idea to approach the creep for any reason. Just stay away from him, please. You have these two lovely dogs to protect. I must point out here, Watson, that upset may not be the right word here, since he expressed his gripe matter-of-factly in a calm demeanor, or maybe he was just sailing high on whatever crap he just inhaled. Then off my treasured trio went, disappearing into the night in the same direction as the officers, and much earlier, Scooter himself. I wonder if they all converged, like aligning planets. It occurred to me later that Carlson lives right above the smoke shop, so that is where Scooter most often stops to whistle up and scream. The Hohokam crew is not going to put up with Scooter's bully behavior when it's right outside their door, I guarantee it. So between the police and Hohokam, I suspect the drama has finally come to a close, or will very soon. Subject, my super umpteenth Deke update. Date, July 10th, later afternoon. Deke dropped over this early afternoon, was in excellent spirits, but only stopped by for a minute to hand me a much smaller, much more lightweight speaker to charge. Never said a word about the monster he carried up the stairs 2 days ago, which is still here, of course, like Lurch of the Addams Family brooding at me from a dark corner. Just charge it for 20 minutes, he said. We'll be back soon to pick it up. Thanks. Good to his word, he did return after a somewhat short while, but again took off almost immediately, allowing me barely 2 minutes of camaraderie with my beatific Brindlekin. Nonetheless, I certainly appreciated his no-drama behavior and respecting my wish not to have the dogs over until another day or two. Nighttime only, of course. Oh yeah, he also asked me for a fresh music chip to plug into the speaker, so I not only presented him with one of two already prepared, since they take almost an hour to transfer all his music. I make spare ones ahead of time. But set up a second chip to contain only 12 albums instead of hundreds. This is because he usually prefers that when it comes to speakers, since the play feature is very basic, no menu, like on an Android device by which you can scroll quickly through the myriad albums, thus requiring you to press the play button over and over and over again to get to your preferred rap artist. Much less frustrating, then, to drastically cut down the number of albums on the card. So when he returned to pick up the speaker, I held out 2 chips and asked him, which do you want, the one with all your music, or this one with just 12 albums? Give me both, he said. No can do, Deke, I replied. I can't afford to hand out 2 chips every time you request one, so take your pick. To my surprise, he chose the card containing a plethora of albums. Be that as it may, I wished him happy trails and stepped back inside. But guess what, good physician? A few minutes later, I heard him yelling for me at the corner. I thought, oh, fuck, the chip doesn't work on his speaker, or something else has gone awry to trigger another temper tantrum. When I approached him, he exclaimed, this chip plays nothing but DJ Scream, and I am sick of him. I can't get to any other music. That's why I offered you the option to take the card with just 12 albums on it, Deke. I patiently explained. It's really frustrating to have tons of music on a speaker's chip without an LCD screen to scroll through the entire collection, especially when some albums I create contain 50 or more songs, while others have as little as 10. He sighed in response. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. So do you want me to bring you the other chip? Nah, that's okay, he said, and began pushing the cart forward. Thanks anyway. Well, Watson, I think he was aware all the time, and actually wanted to set me up, knowing my nerves always jangle when he calls up to my window, because I never know whether or not he's going to throw a hissy fit. It was thus a source of amusement for him to call me back outside again, after I assumed he departed for good, and work my nerves for the time it took to exit my room and step right up to his Bodhisattva Cajun ubiety? Is that a word? What? U-B-I-E-T-Y. I don't know what that means. To be continued.